Welcome back to Keep the Momentum. As you know, I'm your girl Celeste, and I have a guest with me today, Vince Carter. He is a trainer here at CrossFit 209, and today I want to give you guys like an inside look on who he is as a person and what he's doing that you may not already know about. So, how did you start training?
The training came when I was in college. So I was in college at Mount San Antonio College. I was running track, and one of my buddies is like, "Hey, train me," and I was like, "For real?" And for me, it was like I worked out to build confidence. As I was in college, I was trying to build my confidence as well. Get ready to run and to look good. And then so a couple of buddies were just like, "Hey man, train me," and so I was like, cool. So I would set up little stations for them and have them go through it. And after as they started growing, people just started liking the way I was training, and like the ideas I had. For the workouts, I was always trying to look outside the box, and try different things, because then when the things that kind of made who I was, not just sticking to the same type of style of training that you might see, running hills. I was, trying to run hills. I was trying to do lunges up hills. I was trying to do jumps. I was trying to, do these different dynamics of training. And then my coach from there was actually really good at training as well. And he would put us in the pool. But we were runners. But he would put us in the pool. He would put us on machines. So he kind of like inspired me to be a trainer as well.
So you did track there?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool. So are you from Stockton?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I'm from Stockton, Manteca, so a couple places.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
That's super cool. So when you came back from college, did you have an idea like I want to open up a gym?
Oh no. So we really gonna get into it.
Yeah, let's get into it.
All right. So I'm so glad I'm doing this because I've never done this. People are not gonna know. They're gonna be like, wow. I think my story's unique because I feel like God had his hand on it, So I was in college and I was fighting custody for my son. So at that age, so I was probably like 20, 23, 24. And my son was probably like 5. And I was fighting custody. So I was in college. I was doing great. I was, going, I was making it to state. I was, getting all these records and running fast. And somebody called me one time and was just like, "Hey, Vince, I just want to let you know that your son's mother's not doing too good, And so for me, not having a father figure in a sense of someone on top of you, somebody there that's going to be there at, your events and stuff, I was like, man, I gotta make sure I do something.
Yeah.
So got the phone call and it was like, A, do I stay and chase my dreams? Or B, do I come back to Stockton? But I was trying to get away from Stockton at that time because a lot of people need to get away sometimes, So for me, I had to get away to do like a little soul searching. But it was all God. It was all the timing of him, So I got out there, got my life together, got a different mentality, started seeing things different, and I got that phone call. It changed my life. I packed my car up, came home.
Wow, yeah. I really feel like I'm about to cry.
I'm looking around, man. People can't be hearing all this. But yeah, it was really like,
So how did that work out? Not to get too personal, but like, how did it end up?
Yeah, so I came down, and then my mom, the backbone of Vince Carter, was like, you could do this, So I came down and I showed up to court, and it kind of went my way again. God putting me to the right people, because the mediator, that's what you call it, the lady or the male that's there in the court that's mediating, you and your the person that you had a kid with, your wife or your ex-wife or whatever. But at that time, I was young, when I had my son. I was 16. Wow. So I had to grow up fast, because he was 5 already when I was 22, So I was like, I went to court and I just felt I just already knew that it was going to happen. I knew that I was going to get, like, it was destiny for me to have my son. So the lady was ready on my side because I came with paper stating what I was doing all these years. I was in school. I was in the community. I was helping out in LA. I was working at a Boys and Girls Club. I was working at a softball field. So I was around kids already. So they, she could already tell that I was a good father, And I was clean. I didn't have nothing, no, not to say I'm a saint, but I was clean. I changed my life. And so fast forward from that first court date to like 3 months out, I get another phone call. It's the mother of my child, and she's telling me that I could have full custody of my son.
Wow.
Yeah, that was probably the best thing that ever happened. I was just like, what? I was like, man, I remember I just hung up, drove straight over there and got him. Yeah, it motivated me.
That's amazing. And I believe a long time ago I seen, is he in the military? So
yeah,
that's crazy.
So he just graduated. He graduated from the Air Force. I think he almost about a year ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that because you talk a lot about God, and a lot of people that I interview talk about God and how He puts you in situations to make you find yourself.
Oh yeah.
And how, like, what do you think overall He was making you try to understand?
Just wow. So, what a male is supposed to be like towards his son, and like, how are you supposed to be there and love them and push them through the waves of life, and so I feel like I went through the waves so I could teach. So I could teach my son, I could teach the kids in my community. So
it's showing. Like a lot of people who don't know, I trained with Vince like straight out of college. Not out of college, when I was in college. And it was like no other experience that I had working out. You work out and it's like people get discouraged when they're working out. Their trainer is not the person that's supposed to be actually motivating them, but it was a totally different experience with you. And I know a lot of young people love that about you because it shows, like, whatever God is doing, like you said, I know He's doing it because you can feel it.
Yeah.
How important do you think it is for a young man or a young woman also to have a father in their life? Because
it's like like I could notice when a lot of women they bring their kids to me and they're like, man, I heard you're good for my son because he doesn't have a father, and it's like, ugh.
Yeah.
It's like, bring him in. We're gonna patch him up. And teach him how to stand on his toes and to be that man that maybe he doesn't have in his life right now. And that's what teachers, coaches, principals, the military people, the cops, all these different males that have a label that are able to reach out to the community. That's what it's all about. Because like I tell people, I'm a proven person that was touched by males in my life that helped me get to where I am today. It started at McKinley Park on the south side of Stockton, and Marcus Amiel, just, he was a rec leader. He guided me, he helped me, he believed in me at an early age. And then it went to my principal in second grade. It's crazy, like how I can remember these things.
Yeah.
Then it was my coach when I was 10 for the Manteca Cowboys, Paul Ribeiro. And then from there, and then went to college and high school. But these were people that were all placed.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. So fast forward to when you got your son and everything like that. How did you start CrossFit? How did that happen?
So I got my son, and then I was at Delta. I was taking a class, and this girl came in and she sat right in front of me. And when she sat down, I put my head up, and back of her shirt it says, "I'm a trainer," and it was from 24 Hour. And I was like, that's what I'm supposed to be doing. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. I was a trainer in college. I was doing this stuff. People always want me to train. I'm fit. You know, I could do this. And so right there after class, I asked her, you know, about her shirt, what she did. And she was a trainer at 24. In shape. And I was like, okay, who do I talk to? And she was like, yeah, talk to this person. Go over there. So I went over there and I asked the guy. And the guy was like, he brushed me off a little bit. He was like, he was like, we got a couple, trainers ready. And I was like, well, I'm good with people. And he was like, yeah, just come back. So I came back 2 months later, you know, put my face in his face again so he could see how bad I wanted it, you know? And so he's like, man, you wanna know what? I like you. The second time he was like, he started liking me. He's like, I like you. I like the way you're pushy. You're on it. You're here. Come back on Monday and I'll try you out. So he brought me back on Monday. And I shadowed people and then, you know, watched and learned different styles and was open to people's suggestions and criticism, and because that's how you learn, you know, young people. When your coach tells you something, keep your ears wide open and soak it in, because he's not speaking to you just to be down on you. He's really speaking to you to bring light out, you know. And so I spoke to, you know, when they were speaking to me, I listened and I just got better over time. And then from there, I met my wife at In Shape.
That's so cool.
Yep, she was on the treadmill. I seen
Yeah.
So I left In Shape and I went privately to a studio. And I met this, one of my clients made me a brochure because I started telling them about how I want to expand and to move out on my own. People were telling me you could do it. And again, there's people in my life that probably wasn't supposed to be in it, but God moved them toward me, you know, and because it could have happened to anybody. And sometimes I'm like, man, why me?
Yeah.
You know, but now that I can see, I'm supposed to be here to help the youth, the community, you know, Stockton, you know. And so I left and I went to a private studio and I put my brochure in there, and the guy behind the guy I gave it to was actually opening a studio. He was leaving that studio and opening his own. He grabbed my brochure, the brochure, and he called me and he was like, hey, I'd like to sit down with you. I'm opening my own gym. This is the assistant of the person I gave. So I gave it to the owner, but the assistant that was sitting behind the chair, behind the table, was opening his own.
Yeah.
So he was like, hey, you know, I want to get you to come over. I heard about you. I sat down with him, and we ended up opening Fitness 360. It was right there on Lincoln Center. And that's where I started, you know. And then CrossFit came. We were working out. So we were like, you know, workout junkies. So we would just jump on stuff, garbage cans, running, push cars, you know, all this stuff. And at that time, my partner was there as well, Gabe Subri. He was another guy that was leaving a global gym, going into his private training as well at his studio. And so we were both there, and we, you know, got to know each other. We both had this, you know, the same interest and had the same goals in life, and, you know, and so one day, my wife, or, you know, we fight about it. My wife, me, or him found CrossFit. Okay, they're gonna say it was them, but it's my wife.
Was you.
I was gonna say it's my wife.
It was her. Okay. That's
so
smart.
they typed in a workout on YouTube, and we were blown away because it said CrossFit, and they had a bunch of guys with their shirts off, and they're doing thrusters, and they're doing this workout called Fran. And we were like, man, I want to be like that, you know? We're just like, let's be like that. And so we started doing that style of workout, and it was like in 2008 when CrossFit was small. You know, now it's millions of people. You know, back then regionals was only 300 people. Now to qualify, you know, for regionals is thousands and thousands of people.
Yeah.
It's just grown, you know?
Yeah.
And that's the way we found CrossFit.
That's cool.
YouTube.
Right. YouTube is the power of everything. So, like, what is the difference between CrossFit and just regular weightlifting or
Okay, so, you know, I get that question a lot, but for me, CrossFit is for life. You know, it's for longevity. It's from getting out the car, strengthening the muscles to get me out of my car, to grab my son, put them over my head, to have energy through the whole day of a 12-hour shift, to be able to play with my kids, you know, to be able to shoot hoops, to be able to swim, to be able to hike, you know, to be able to run a fast 40, to be able to jump on a high box. That's what CrossFit. That's why CrossFit is different, because it's so well-rounded. You know, it's not just I'm doing biceps to get my arms big. Nothing against that, because I do that. You know, everyone does stuff. It's more efficient for life. You know, sitting up tall, for posture, for being able to do things that you never thought you were going to be able to do. You know, I'm 40 now, so when I was 32, I was able to still do the same things that I was doing when I was 18.
Wow.
You know, because CrossFit has it more rounded in an individual of fitness. You know, because this could be a power lifter, this could be a runner, but CrossFit is everything together. It has all the movements, and you know, it's functional movements, and so by saying that, it's everything you do in life.
Yeah.
You know?
I love that.
Yeah.
And I remember when I first started working out with you, like, I almost felt like I was addicted in a way. Like,
I know, I should hit you up. Where you at, girl?
Right? I feel bad. I'm on my way. Like, I remember that one.
Track practice.
Right after, we're right over at CrossFit. And I remember I came for that one Thanksgiving. We did.
Oh, yeah, the Thanksgiving workout.
I died. Oh, my God. But it was the best workout ever. So,
and that's like, not to cut you off, but that's the thing, the beauty about CrossFit and about our facility, our gym, is because it's the community, you know, and you feel that vibe when you walk in. It's like when you walk into a house party, it's like, oh man, you know, you feel the juice, you know, and it's like, for me, that's what I'm big about, is making people feel welcome and feel loved and feel like, you know, he's just not all about his paper or his money. You know, he's about me, about changing my life, about checking up on me, making sure my grades are good, making sure I'm good, you know, and that's what a trainer is supposed to be.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly how I feel, and that's what I did feel for sure, and I'm going to come back, so you know. But, so I felt like when I was working out with you, it was more than just CrossFit, like you said, but it was like specific for whatever I was doing at that time, because I was throwing.
Oh yeah.
And you made it to where I did things that incorporated track. So after you guys moved here, that's when you started Team Elevate?
Yeah, so Team Elevate originated at the old gym. So how it came about was, I love training kids. I loved it, you know, and it was just something different, because they were younger and they were, they would ask you questions like, hey coach, you know, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? You know, and you're more of a leader serving, you know, and I felt like it makes you feel like really, oh man, I'm doing something great for the community, you know. And so when I started getting into kids, it just brought something out of me, because I was like, man, now I'm complete. Like I'm training the adults in CrossFit. Now I got the Elevate Your Game going on, and that's how it kind of originated, started. And then the parents from CrossFit was bringing their kids into the Elevate Your Game. That's what it was called back then, and it started growing. Like people just started coming from Stockton, from the south side, east side, from Tracy, and they just started, flocking to the old building. It was so, remember how packed it started?
Yeah.
We started training outside because there was too many kids.
Yeah.
And it was just like, wow, man, and the way the name started was Jordan McMiller. He played for Lincoln. He's playing for ARC now. He texted me one day. He was like, hey, coach, this is when I was like not even like cool man in the Instagram type thing. It was more like, what is Instagram? And he was starting my Instagram, and he was like, you got to hashtag Team Elevate, coach.
Use those hashtags.
So I was like, he goes, that's what we're called, coach. I go, Team Elevate? He goes, yeah, coach, because this is a team. This is our team. This is, who we are. And I was like, okay.
That's dope.
Yeah,
So what exactly is Team Elevate for people who don't know?
Oh, okay. So it's like more of a sport-specific training, but from 4 years old all the way up to professional, and it's specific towards your sport, in a class, but it ranges for baseball, football, basketball, tennis, swimming. Yeah, you're a tennis player. So it touches everybody, and it develops everybody to be a better athlete, you know, and as well as again, you know, changing the kids from within out, you know, and building confidence, you know.
I love it so much because I feel like Stockton as a whole, everything that's put out there, we kind of like are stuck in the we're stuck in the mindset that Stockton it's gonna be the way it is forever, and we're always trying to make it better.
I think it's getting better too.
I do too, and I feel like you have a lot to do with it also, because I talk to a lot of people, and it's like you have to get your kids in different things so that they don't do what everybody thinks that is happening, you know,
or what the music is telling you what to do.
Exactly.
Our society, our life, you know.
Yes, and
go ahead. No, you go.
No, I love how it's different here. Like we're not focusing on the bad, we're focusing on the good and where you're gonna get.
Yes.
In the long run. So you talk a lot about how you help the community and other people. How do you help yourself? Like, what is it? What do you do for yourself that keeps you going?
You know, I look at my kids every morning. you know, I see them, you know, laying there. I'm just like, man, I gotta provide. You know, I gotta do great things for them. You know, it's like, ugh.
Yeah.
You know, and that's like, for me, that's the best thing.
Yeah. That's beautiful. So I really feel like you're here to help. It takes a strong person to work with kids, period.
Oh, yeah, it does, because, like, you know, one day they could be Michael Jordan, and then the next day they feel like, you know, because you don't know what's going on in their household or going on in their life or at school, and that's why we got to be open to things, you know, and that's why I try to tell myself, like, who you see on this camera right here, this is who I am. You know, good or bad, in a sense of if I'm going through something, because I know that I need to help these kids and help them learn how to go through things, you know? And so, and that's the power of God, you know? There's no way that I'll be able to, you know, stay strong.
Yeah, I feel you. So, not to digress super hard, but what do you have coming up with everything? What's going on in the future for you?
So we got the right now we got the 7-on-7. They're actually traveling right now. They're probably outside. Yeah, they're traveling to Las Vegas. We got the Junior Elevate, and that's coached by Eric Crocker. We got Merv from out of Sacramento, Coach Merv. They're our coaches. We got the Elevate Next Up. We got Derek Graves for offense.
Check that interview out also.
Yeah, that was moving. I like that one. Motivated, you know. So our Elevate Next Up team, headed by Derek Graves and Coach Reese, they're heading out to Vegas as well. So that's like our younger kids. So we have the 8th grade, then we have the freshman, sophomore, and then we have our elite team, if you want to call it. That's so that's our top team, if you want to say that, but don't say that. So our Elevate Elite, and that's by Donald. He played for with BYU for a little bit. And then Coach Jordan, he's actually the Delta DB coach. So these kids are blessed, man. They have some of the best coaches around, and guys that pour into the community and that are all about the kids and the development, you know, and that's key for off season. And that's one thing that we push is development and helping these kids and teaching them, and you know, the fundamentals of football and the skills and even the mentorship. You know, so they're going to Las Vegas to the Pylon. That's the biggest tournament of the year. There'll probably be like 160 teams.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Wow. So how do you pick your other trainers? How do you pick your coaches?
So for me, I like to make sure that they're in it with the same mind statement, you know, in the same heart, in the sense of to help the kids, you know, as well be skilled, you know, and you got to be, you know, kid friendly. Yeah. You know, you got to be approachable, Got to be able to work, work on a fly sometimes, because they might, because working with kids it's more than just getting them strong, because again, they're going to come in here with all different types of things going on in life, so it's both. You got to be good at both life as well with craft. You got to have some kind of craft in developing their skill set.
Yeah, that's true, because as much how I can tell how much you care, so I could only see that in all your other people that you work with. Also, what advice would you give the kids watching that need this type of environment in their life?
Just be a leader. Be a leader. Don't be a follower. Know that you're gonna fall, because people fall. We're all gonna fall, but be the person that gets up. That's something that I want to instill to my little kids, my sons, and to my athletes, is that in life you're gonna fall, you're gonna slip, because everybody makes mistakes, but learn from them and be strong and get back up. And don't stay down. Don't beat yourself up. And be the person that you want to be when you look in the mirror. That person you see through all this skin. The person that God has for you. And that's one thing I say is, like, even though I've had some troubles when I was growing up and seeing things that I probably shouldn't have seen, or some of the things I should have not went through in life, every time I'm in the mirror, I knew there was something else. So there's always something else. It doesn't matter, because people don't know all my situations, and I've been through it.
Yeah.
And it's like I survived, and it's anyone's possible to continue to search for greatness.
Agreed.
Yeah.
How do you define keep the momentum?
Oh, keep the momentum. I define it by again, going through your trials, going through trials and learning from trials, and not riding the wave, because the wave goes up and down. So if the wave is down, get it back up.
Yeah.
And that's keeping the momentum.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I love that. That was real creative. Awesome. So thank you so much for sitting down with me. And oh my gosh, you almost really had me crying over here.
I know, man. I get a little sensitive sometimes, man. But I'm tough.
Yes, that's really the strength, though.
Yeah.
I really feel that.
Yeah, it's just, I like to be real. I like to be, especially when I'm talking about what I'm doing, because a lot of people don't know that, some people might look at it and be like, oh, he's just about this or just about that. But I went through the struggles just like everybody else. I started off, building from the bottom, you've seen it, and it's like it takes a lot of passion and heart to do what a lot of trainers are doing in this community. There's a lot of great trainers, a lot of great people. It's just Stockton has a little bad rap, but with the mayor Michael Tubbs and people like that are sponsors. I want to give a big shout out to Michael Spanos, the Arnaz family, Chase Chevrolet, Battle, and these are people that believe in our community. And Mrs. Eckerman and my boy Rob, he's a country guy, he's a farmer. He helps us out. And all the people that have put in a hand in Team Elevate, and Jesus.
Yes. Amen.
Amen.
So where can they find you at on social media?
VC 209, and then we got the Elevate 7-on-7. IG as well, and Vince Carter on Facebook, and get ready to change your life.
Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you so much again.
Thank you.
I love this.
Yeah.
And remember, keep that momentum. Thank you. See you on the next one. How does that go? Like, you're located in Stockton, and do you have a lot of local artists?